Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Not Ready for Primetime Crafting with Tania Gail. This is part of the Tania Gail Adventures YouTube channel, and I'm very happy to bring to you today a project that I've been wanting to do for a while. That is temporary tattoos. I'm using a Silhouette brand tattoo paper, and we are going to be using the Silhouette Cameo 4. I'm also going to be using the light tack mat as well for this project because it is a print and cut project. I'm really excited to be doing this. This is Silhouette's brand of tattoo paper. There's probably other papers out there that are probably cheaper to use. This kit ran $10, and you can find it at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, and probably on the Silhouette store as well. For that $10, you get 2 sheets of tattoo printable paper and 2 sheets of adhesive paper. And I'm using the Silhouette Cameo 4 because lately it's been behaving. And I'd like to attribute it to the Maker's 3 behind me because that was solely intended to replace this. And literally the day I got this one started acting up appropriately. So what we're going to be doing today is a print and cut, and we're going to layer adhesive on it, and we are going to make tattoos that are temporary. Now, to be safe, since you are putting an ink onto your skin, it might be prudent for you to just try out a little area of skin, just a little bit of the tattoo, just to see if there's any type of reaction. You don't want to go throw a bunch of tattoos on and then all of a sudden break out in hives. That would not be cool. So always play safe when you're putting anything onto your skin. With that being said, I'm looking forward to working with the Silhouette Cameo 4 today. And I also want to thank everyone for your comments and your questions that you left when I did the video directly comparing the Silhouette Cameo 4 to the Maker's 3 with different types of materials and cut settings. I think that was, we had some really productive dialogue there, and I'd like that to continue. So I will be doing another head-to-head comparison with both these machines using magnet material, basswood, aluminum sheets, and maybe some of the felt that I have. Actually, I literally only have 2 pieces of felt, so might be a good way to get rid of it with a comparison test. So that's coming up. But for today, we are going to work with temporary tattoos. Now, they are temporary. They're going to last about a day. And if you don't want them gone sooner, you could just literally just wash them off your skin. And this is as far, if you're wondering, this is as close to a real tattoo as I will ever get. So let's get started on this project, shall we? Here we are in Silhouette Studio, and here are the images that I'm going to use to make my tattoos. All 4 of these images were found outside of the Silhouette ecosystem at a website called The Hungry JPEG. And actually, 3 of the 4 of these images were free. So take a peek, go over to Hungry JPEG. There's lots of freebies there that you can download and start working on and practicing with. So for today, these are the images that I'm going to be using to make our tattoos. And how did I get to this point? Well, let me start at the beginning here. One of the differences in the design space of both Cricut and Silhouette is that Silhouette focuses your activities on the mat size and the size of the media that you're cutting. And in this field, this is where you can customize a lot here. This is where you select what machine you're using, and we're using the Silhouette Cameo 4. It also allows you to change the cutting mat size and the media size. And what that means is you can change the size of the cutting mat that you're going to insert into the Cameo 4. And also, the media side is actually the material you're working with. what size is that? Because it's typically not 12 by 12. The material that I'm working with, the tattoo sheets, are letter size, 8 by 11. And in this area right here, you can really customize and dial in the size of your material. So the Silhouette software really allows for a lot of customization. It also shows you the print border and the cut border, which is quite important because you don't want to cross either one of them when you're working with your image, especially in a print and cut. So that's the general setup. And now there's 3. You can actually change the grid settings, and that's this. Or you can go here, which is the registration mark setup. So when you click on that, this is where you're going to go to set up your print and cut page. It's typically defaults to registration marks off, and you have to turn it on manually. And that's what I did. Another thing that I did here was I went down to thickness. This is the thickness of the registration marks themselves. And what are the registration marks? It's these markers right here. They are the registration marks for Silhouette. What I did was I went to the thickness of them and moved the slider all the way to the right as far as I can go to make them as thick as possible. And I do that to help reduce the incidence of registration failure. There's other advanced options you can use. You can select print bleed or enable a barcode on this design. There's lots of things you can do, but I typically just turn on the registration marks, adjust the thickness, ensure my design is not crossing the cut line or the bleed line. So that's what I'm doing right here. And the next thing we need to look at is, if you notice, 3 of the images have what looks like a trace line around them, and that's actually called an offset. And I added an offset to these 3 images simply because they're very delicate. They have small, delicate parts to them that would be very difficult for any cutting machine to cut accurately. The heart is the heart. So we don't really need, you could add an offset here if you like. It's up to you. I decided I didn't need one, but for the other 3 designs, because they are butterflies and they have the very delicate antenna, and I want to kind of capture that with the tattoo, I added an offset around them. And it looks, so you want to go ahead and do that. And to add an offset, let me X out of here. You simply select, I group them. Well, you select the item you want to have an offset, and then you click on this star. And there's lots of icons here. And if you're not sure what they are, literally just go down the list, highlight it, and it will tell you what it is. And just keep going down until you find what you're looking for. But I will tell you, this star is the offset panel. And it's also up here too. So it's in 2 different places. So now my, let me just click out of that. Now that my my images are ready, they're actually ready to be printed and then run through the machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to send. And this is where we're going to print the image and send it through the machine. And here we are in the send panel, and there's a couple things you can do here. This is where you select the material that you're going to cut or draw or sketch. You're also going to select the type of tool, which is the blade you're going to use. I've already installed the auto blade and it's detected it. But here is where Silhouette shines. In this section, and I will be editing this, this gives you the depth of the blade, and you can change it. This gives you the force. How strongly is it pushing down into the material? And the speed. How quickly is it cutting or drawing through the material? You can change all these parameters, and you can also up the passes to as many times as you feel necessary to get the cut you want. So for each type of material that you load in here, you have the opportunity of really dialing in your cut, your depth blade, your force, your speed, and your passes. So that's what makes this software quite powerful. So at this point, we are ready to print this, and it's very simple. You just go to File, Print. It's going to open a dialog box. And at this point, this is like your last check. You can make sure that the graphic or images that you are wanting to print and cut are within the registration marks and not outside of the cut lines. And this looks really good. So at this point, I'm ready to print this. So I'll click on print, and it's going to bring up another dialog box. And this is where you select your printer. I'm going to be using the Canon Pro 100 to print these stickers, these tattoos, I should say. And all I have to do now is hit print, and it's going to print out. And then once I get the printout, I'm going to let it sit for a minute, and then we're going to jump on over, and you're going to see how I run this through the Cameo and get the cuts that we need and apply the tattoo. See you then. Okay, we're back. Here we are with the printed images that I'm going to turn into tattoos. So following the tattoo paper instructions, the next thing we need to do is add this adhesive sheet over the entire sheet here, including the registration marks. So watch this get real awkward real quickly. I think the best way for me to do it is this way. Okay, I want the sticky side down. Now I think, okay, I'm going to carefully set this here. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to, no, I know what you do. Flip this up. This is where it gets fun, because I'm going to fight this. It's really hard to, oh, you little bugger. Let's try it this way. Okay, maybe it's better this way. Okay. So I'm going to take my scraper and scrape that down. Now I'm going to flip this up. And let me go this way. Okay, over here is where, and I'm just going to slowly go across this and push it down. The goal here is not to get bubbles. Bubbles are your enemy. They're usually very nice, benign things, but when you're using it as an adhesive clear cover, bubbles can be a problem. So it's best you take your time, find a way that works best for you, and just slowly remove the backing. Okay. So I'm going to just take a look at it now. Oh, I see bubbles. And you need to just go across and try to encourage the bubbles to leave the space. Because if the bubbles are over, the air pockets are over the image, it's not going to transfer as a tattoo. And we don't want that. Oh, and make sure there's no air bubbles over the registration marks. Oh, there's a big bubble. Hello, no, get away from my heart. There we go. Just encourage it to leave. Okay, no, there's a big bubble right over that butterfly. I'm just going to check over each one and make sure there's no more. I don't see any. There are bubbles, but they're not near the images, so I don't care. All right. Oh, no. There's one right there. Okay, I don't see any more bubbles, so we've added the adhesive, and I'm going to just put this aside. And we're just going to follow the directions here. So now that we've added the adhesive sheet to our printout, it's now time to load it into the Cameo. I already have the auto blade loaded and ready to go. So I'm going to take this sheet and I'm going to put it on the light tack mat. Again, this is part of my strategy, the light tack mat, to reduce the instances of registration fail. It's all part of my master plan. Let me take a brayer tool, see if that can get rid of nice, and there we go. Okay, that's done. Okay, so I'm going to load our mat in, and this is the moment of truth, people. All right, it says it's ready. Okay, I clicked send, and I am going to step out of the way for a minute and move some light onto the subject. Yes, victory! It's cutting. Even Penny thinks this is loud. All right, moment of truth. Okay. Oh, these look like they are working well. Wow, let me see, let me see, let me see. Yes, yes. I wanted them to cut out individually. Oh, look at this. This is perfect. All right, let me explain what happened there. This worked perfectly. Yay. Let me get them off the mat. Okay, I get these are kind of connected. That's okay. You know, and I'll get a little scraper tool. Carefully. Oop. I'll have to bend the mat a bit. This is perfect. Let me get the cover on this mat. Yay! Let me always cover your mat after you're done using it. Great, let me put that back. Let me pull this out so you can see them. Maybe, do I have a blank piece of paper? It might be easier to see these. Yeah, actually, let me use the sheet from the adhesive. And I can explain what happened here. It's actually part of my master plan. Actually, these came out so nice. Look at this. Look at this. Butterflies, hearts, and roses. Can't get better than this. What happened here is when I added the offset to these images. There's another, I can't believe there's a bubble in there. Oh. When I added the offset to the 3 of the images, in order for me to keep all the images within the cut frame and not outside of the registration marks, these two just matched up. So I knew these would be connected when they cut, but that's perfectly fine. All I need to do is take my scissors and just snip. There we go. It's just a small price to pay to get some tattoos. And this is, there we go, perfect. And this is how you make tattoos. I think they came out really, really well. Especially since the Cameo is now behaving. Since it quite understands its days might be numbered, considering the Maker 3 that I have sitting right next to me. But these came out really well. So in order to apply a tattoo, what do? Okay, so you take your cut tattoo, I'll take one, the heart, and peel away the clear plastic layer exposing the adhesive. That's why we put the adhesive on, to get the stickiness on the image. Okay, and then expose that. Apply the tattoo's adhesive to your side to your skin and cover with a wet cloth for 10 to 15 seconds until paper backing slides off easily. Ooh, so I'm going to give that a try. Just as a reminder, the temporary tattoos are temporary. They'll last a day and they can be removed with a washcloth. But again, you are putting ink onto your skin, and if you have any sensitivities, it might be wise for you to just do a little test somewhere inconspicuously to see if you get a reaction before slapping a couple tattoos on you. And that is the great tattoo cutting experience with this Silhouette Cameo 4. It really works very well when it works. So if you have any questions or any comments, please, let me know. Leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them. If you're looking for any more comparisons between the Cameo 3 and the Maker 3, I have some other test materials to try. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I will be filming that in the near future. But I thought it was summertime, and I had this tattoo material from Silhouette. And it's the tattoo paper, and I thought I'd give it a try, just to have a fun tattoo thing. The closest I've ever come to a tattoo. Well, it really wasn't. It was always a temporary tattoo, and it was gone. It was henna that I had put on my hand when I attended a wedding. And that's as close to a real tattoo as I ever want to get. So this is a fun, enjoyable thing for you to do with friends and family and with your kiddos. And it's something very easily that you can do with your Cameo 4 or Cameo 3 or even the portraits. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode. I went to the trouble of making all of these tattoos and didn't show you how to apply it or what the finished product looks like. So let me get a wet rag and I'll show you. The trick to this, what I found, is to have a really wet rag. So the first thing you need to do is peel off that adhesive we stuck on. Place it aside, or try to, and then place this tattoo wherever you want it. I guess I'll put it right there. And I have off to the side a very wet rag, which is making me nervous around all these electronics. And it's sopping wet. Okay. There we go. And just put it on there, light pressure, for about 15 seconds. And what that is going to do, and it's just like peeling off a transfer. And there is, I'm going to put this off to the side. There's the rose. Oh, that came out so pretty. And I also did a heart too, so I have two. So that is truly the finished product, and this will last you maybe a day or shorter if you don't want it on you that long. But ta-da!